Black bear sightings and urban encroachment in California. A growing challenge. California's black bears are making headlines, not just in the wilderness, but right in people's backyards. While some reports claim their population exceeds 100,000, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife offers a more grounded estimate of 35,000 to 40,000. Even at those numbers, encounters between bears and humans are on the rise, and there's a reason why. California's diverse terrain, from mountains to forest to coastal regions, is perfect bear habitat. But this natural balance is shifting. Wildfires alone burned nearly 90,000 hectares of forest by early 2023, destroying vital ecosystems and stripping away food sources like berries, nuts, and small prey. Add rapid urban expansion to the mix, and the result is clear. Bears are being pushed out of the wild and into our neighborhoods in search of survival. One of their favorite targets? Beehives. Rich in honey and larvae, they offer a high-calorie meal. But these bear raids come at a steep cost. U.S. beekeepers suffer an estimated $45 million in losses annually. To fight back, many beekeepers have turned to electric fencing, a proven non-lethal solution. These fences, powered by batteries, solar panels, or electricity, deliver a mild but effective shock. They're designed with multiple wire levels to stop bears from sneaking under or climbing over. And according to the University of California's Integrated Pest Management Program, they work. Especially in remote areas, solar-powered fences offer a sustainable line of defense. But here's the catch. Electric fencing isn't cheap, and in rugged terrain, maintenance is tough. And while these deterrents help protect property, they raise ethical concerns too. Black bears are highly intelligent, sentient animals, and any solution must consider their well-being. That's why long-term strategies like bear-proof containers, responsible waste management, and restoring natural habitats are essential. They don't just protect livelihoods, they protect the future of wildlife too. If we want to live safely alongside nature, we must act wisely and ethically, not just with fear, but with foresight. It's not just about keeping bears out, it's about giving them a place to belong. Managing California's black bear population. Is regulated hunting the answer? California's black bear population is at the center of a growing debate. Some documentaries claim it's increasing at a staggering 12% per year, a figure that alarms many residents. But according to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, growth is far more stable. Still, the perception of a surge has led to real concerns about property damage, livestock attacks, and public safety. To address this, California has embraced regulated hunting as a population control tool. But this isn't a free-for-all. It's a highly managed process. Hunters must obtain licenses and bear tags, and the season runs only from August to December, with strict quotas in place to prevent overharvesting and ensure sustainability. Modern hunters are trained for humane, ethical kills, often using rifles like the .3006 Springfield or .308 Winchester. Shots are carefully aimed at vital organs within 50 to 200 meters to ensure a swift end. And spotting a target isn't just about marksmanship, it's about responsibility. Hunters use binoculars or scopes to avoid shooting cubs or mother bears with young. They rely on wind direction and natural cover to stay undetected, and if a bear is wounded, they track carefully. Knowing a defensive bear can be extremely dangerous. Proponents argue that hunting doesn't just manage bear numbers, it reduces dangerous human-bear encounters and maintains cultural traditions, connecting people to the land. The National Wildlife Federation even highlights hunting as a way to foster respect for wildlife when done responsibly. But the practice isn't without its critics, and for good reason. Bears play a key role in ecosystems by controlling prey populations and spreading seeds. Overhunting could throw nature out of balance. And ethical concerns persist, especially when alternatives exist. So, what else can we do? Non-lethal options like bear-proof garbage systems already effective. In places like Yosemite, offer real promise. Habitat restoration, better waste policies, and public education can reduce the need for lethal control while promoting peaceful coexistence. In the end, it's not about choosing sides. It's about finding balance between safety and compassion, tradition and science. Whether through regulated hunting or smarter, non-lethal solutions, we must ask, how can we share space with one of California's most iconic species without tipping the scales of nature? Red foxes in Oklahoma, a growing threat to agricultural communities across Oklahoma's farmlands and suburban edges. Red foxes are making their presence known, and not always in welcome ways. Some documentaries estimate their population at nearly 300,000, and while exact numbers are hard to confirm, one thing is certain: red foxes have become a serious challenge for farmers, especially in areas like Mustang, where small livestock losses spike during breeding season from January to March. The Oklahoma Department of Wildlife Conservation confirms that red foxes are now common predators in agricultural zones. Chickens, ducks, and other poultry are easy targets, and the claim that some farms have lost up to 100 flocks may sound extreme, but for many local farmers, it's a harsh reality. These animals are intelligent, opportunistic hunters, and they strike when farmers can least afford it. To fight back, some rely on traditional foot traps like coil spring and long spring traps, used since the 1980s. Placed along trails or near dens and baited with meat, these traps are inexpensive, reusable, and have long been favored by rural landowners. But they come with a cost. Non-target species can get caught, and for foxes, the results can be brutal: broken bones, prolonged suffering, and slow deaths. Animal welfare groups like the Humane Society have raised the alarm about these painful practices. Others turn to rifle hunting, a more targeted and often more humane method when done correctly. Oklahoma's wide-open prairies and forested areas provide ideal conditions for skilled hunters to remove problem foxes while minimizing collateral damage to the ecosystem. But this method, too, demands training, precision, and respect for ethical guidelines. So where does that leave us? Yes, red foxes pose a real and growing threat to Oklahoma's farming communities. But addressing the issue responsibly means more than setting traps or pulling triggers. It means weighing ethics against economics, conservation against control. Solutions could include securing poultry enclosures, installing motion-detecting lights or sound deterrents, working with wildlife agencies on humane population control, because in the end, this isn't just about protecting livestock, it's about protecting the balance between humans and wildlife. We can manage the red fox problem, but we must do it wisely, humanely, and with the future in mind. Feral pigs in California. An agricultural crisis rooted in the wild California is facing a silent but devastating invasion. Feral pigs, numbering up to 500,000 across the state, are wreaking havoc on farms, ecosystems, and even suburban neighborhoods. These animals, descended from escaped domestic pigs and Eurasian wild boars, have adapted to nearly every environment, from the lush vineyards of the Central Valley to dense forests and wetlands. The damage, staggering. According to the USDA, feral pigs are responsible for $1.50 to $2.5 billion in agricultural damage nationwide each year. In California alone, they tear through crops like grains and grapes, trample irrigation systems, and root up the land, disrupting ecosystems and accelerating erosion. In suburban areas, they destroy gardens, tear up parks, and even damage roads, leading to costly repairs and safety concerns. To control this growing menace, rifle hunting remains one of the most effective tools. Popular models like the Mossberg 500 or Remington 870 offer precision and stopping power, especially in rugged terrain. Licensed hunters often rely on ATVs to reach remote or brush-heavy areas. But combining firearms with high-speed mobility carries serious safety risks, like accidental discharges or injuries on unstable ground. That's where trapping systems come in. The USDA's National Feral Swine Damage Management Program endorses advanced traps like the Boar Buster, which can capture entire sounders, pig groups at once. These smart traps are efficient, humane, and reduce the need for risky, close-range encounters. Some have proposed a bold alternative, taming feral pigs for meat production. In theory, this could transform a costly pest into a profitable resource, but the reality is complex. These pigs carry dangerous diseases like brucellosis, and converting them into a safe food source would require major investments in infrastructure, regulation, and ongoing health monitoring. So what's the path forward? It's not just about killing pigs, it's about managing an ecological crisis. A multi-pronged strategy is essential. Continued regulated hunting, investment in smart trapping, public awareness and community collaboration, research into innovative, sustainable uses for harvested pigs. California's agricultural heartland feeds millions, but if we don't act, feral pigs will continue to undermine that lifeline. The time to act is now, before this crisis grows any deeper, and the damage becomes irreversible. Bobcat boom. Livestock losses and the battle for balance across the United States. The bobcat population has surged to an estimated 3 million and counting, a testament to the species' incredible adaptability. But this growing number comes with serious consequences. In Georgia and other agricultural states, bobcats are increasingly targeting livestock like chickens, sheep, and goats, contributing to an alarming $1 billion in annual economic losses nationwide. Though bobcats are native to North America, their presence on farms is no longer a rare sight. As natural food sources dwindle due to habitat degradation and ecosystem shifts, these elusive predators are forced to move closer to human settlements, turning family farms into hunting grounds. Strategic solutions from the field hunters and wildlife managers are stepping up with tactical, humane solutions to help contain the crisis. Two veterans in the field, Michael Thompson of Texas and John Mitchell of Montana, offer a glimpse into how responsible intervention can help protect both livestock and ecosystem integrity. Thompson, an expert trapper, uses coil spring foot traps along bobcat trails, dens, and known hunting routes. Carefully baited with fresh meat or commercial scent lures and camouflaged with natural brush, these traps are engineered to hold bobcats securely without causing injury. Every trap is checked regularly, ensuring ethical handling and minimal stress to the animal. Meanwhile, Mitchell relies on field scouting, realistic prey calls like distressed rabbits, and visual lures to attract bobcats. Using a .223 rifle, he executes precise, humane shots aimed at vital organs, ensuring quick and ethical kills. His disciplined approach contributes to the annual removal of up to 500,000 bobcats, a vital effort in regions where overpopulation threatens both farms and native wildlife. Balancing action with ethics, while lethal control remains a key tool for some, ethical and legal safeguards are non-negotiable. Both Thompson and Mitchell operate strictly within the boundaries of local permits and wildlife laws, emphasizing humane treatment and ecological responsibility. Yet, the scale of these operations raises a critical question. Are we striking the Right balance between protection and preservation? Bobcats are not just predators, they're a crucial part of the natural food web. Excessive population control could lead to unintended consequences, such as rodent overpopulation or loss of biodiversity. The case for non-lethal alternatives to achieve true harmony. Non-lethal strategies must be part of the equation. Secure fencing. Designed to keep bobcats out of enclosures, livestock guardian dogs, which deter predators through natural intimidation. Motion-sensitive lights or alarms that startle and redirect wildlife habitat restoration efforts. Ensuring bobcats have enough food and territory in the wild, these methods offer a more sustainable path forward. Reducing conflict without risking the long-term survival of a native species. Conclusion. Coexistence is possible if we plan for. If the rise in bobcat-related livestock losses is real and deeply felt by farmers across Georgia and beyond. But solving this challenge doesn't mean choosing between safety and compassion. With smart, science-driven strategies, it's possible to protect livelihoods while respecting the vital role bobcats play in our ecosystems, because true wildlife management isn't just about control, it's about coexistence, responsibility, and a future where humans and nature can thrive side by side. Invasive baboons in Georgia's growing agricultural crisis. Georgia's agricultural industry vital to the state's economy and rural livelihood is facing a surprising and deeply troubling challenge: invasive baboons. With an estimated $30 million in annual crop losses, the impact of these highly intelligent and aggressive primates is becoming impossible to ignore. Baboons aren't just ordinary pests. They're strategic, agile, and capable of devastating entire fields of maize, cassava, and fruits within hours. Their ability to adapt to diverse environments from savannas to farmland makes them especially hard to deter. And their omnivorous diet means no crop is truly safe, although large-scale baboon invasions like this are more commonly documented. In parts of Africa, such as Uganda's Budongo Forest Reserve, where farmers have long battled crop loss due to baboons, reports from rural Georgia suggest similar patterns are emerging. While official sources remain limited, eyewitness accounts from local farmers and conservationists point to a rapidly growing problem that deserves serious attention. Smart enemies. Smarter solutions? To combat the threat, Georgia's farmers are turning to unconventional but tactical defenses. Among the most notable innovations, shooting tents, crafted from parachute fabric, allow farmers to hide near crops while safely observing primate movement. Fruit baiting draws baboons into open areas where population control measures can be carried out with precision. Strategic firearm use, under local regulations, is being employed as a last resort to protect critical harvests. These strategies have shown success in reducing crop damage and deterring future incursions, but they come with a moral cost. Baboons are not only intelligent, they live in complex, social communities. Lethal control methods are increasingly criticized by animal welfare advocates who argue for more humane solutions. A path toward balance. So, what's the alternative? Non-lethal, sustainable approaches are gaining traction. Organizations like the African Wildlife Foundation champion strategies such as habitat preservation to reduce baboons' dependence on farmland, community education on waste management to prevent attracting wildlife, crop diversification and barriers to discourage raids without harming the animals. These initiatives don't just protect the environment, they also foster long-term coexistence between humans and wildlife. For Georgia, adopting similar models could mean a future where farming thrives without sacrificing animal welfare. Conclusion. From conflict to coexistence, the rise of invasive baboons in Georgia, while still underdocumented, signals a critical need for proactive, compassionate, and science-backed solutions. Farmers cannot afford continued losses, but neither can we ignore the ethical implications of lethal force. With smarter strategies, public awareness, and support from both government and conservation groups, Georgia has the opportunity to lead by example, turning a growing crisis into a chance for innovation and harmony. Urban invasion. The growing threat of baboons in Georgia's cities. In 2022 alone, an estimated 500 to 1,000 baboons were reported infiltrating urban neighborhoods across Georgia, turning once quiet streets into unpredictable danger zones. These primates, known for their intelligence and agility, are not just curious wanderers. They're becoming a serious public safety and health risk, and the problem is escalating fast. When wildlife crosses the line, baboons can navigate roads, climb buildings, and swing across power lines with alarming ease. The result? Over 80 traffic-related incidents and more than 40 human injuries annually. Imagine driving down a busy street only to have a troop of baboons dash across your path, obstructing visibility and causing collisions. These incidents lead to expensive vehicle repairs and place innocent lives at risk. But the threat doesn't end with accidents. Baboons are increasingly found rummaging through garbage bins, tearing open waste and scattering debris across urban zones. In doing so, they expose communities to a wide range of pathogens, bacteria, viruses, and parasites capable of causing serious zoonotic diseases. This isn't speculation. The danger of disease spillover from primates has been well documented. In global context, especially within wildlife trade and human-wildlife conflict zones, why is this happening? The root of the issue lies in habitat loss and urban expansion. As natural forests shrink and green spaces vanish, baboons are left with fewer food sources and nesting grounds. Cities become their new foraging zones, not by choice, but by survival. And as vegetation degrades, these intelligent animals follow their instincts toward wherever resources are abundant, even if that means trespassing into human territory. Solutions that work if we act now to stop the spread of this crisis. Proactive management is crucial. Some of the most promising strategies include reinforced waste management systems that keep garbage out of reach, public education campaigns to discourage feeding or interacting with baboons, community-based reporting systems to monitor baboon activity without escalating conflict. Looking abroad. Saudi Arabia's National Center for Wildlife is already taking action against a similar problem. Their approach? A combination of environmental reserves, controlled population management, and community engagement. This model offers a sustainable blueprint that Georgia can adapt and implement, not just to remove baboons from city streets, but to tackle the root causes that drive them there. The time to act is now. Urban baboon incursions are no longer a rare oddity. They are a growing public issue that demands serious attention. From damaged property and dangerous roads to public health risks and ethical concerns, the cost of inaction is simply too high. If Georgia wants to protect its citizens while preserving ecological balance, the path forward is clear: smarter infrastructure, stronger public awareness, and sustainable coexistence strategies. The future of both our cities and our wildlife depends on it. Rethinking wildlife management toward humane and sustainable solutions. As human-wildlife conflicts intensify across the U.S., it's essential to critically evaluate the claims made in popular media and ensure that our responses are both scientifically grounded and ethically sound. Take, for instance, the black bear. Some documentaries claim their population in California exceeds 100,000, growing at 12% annually. But data from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife suggests a more modest and stable population of 35,000 to 40,000. This inflated narrative may stir fear, but it risks distracting us from real Evidence-based solutions. Similarly, claims of 300,000 red foxes and the loss of 100 flocks per farm may lack precise verification, yet they reflect a truth that farmers know all too well. Foxes are opportunistic predators, especially during breeding season, and their impact on small livestock can be severe. When it comes to feral pigs, however, the danger is indisputable. With populations exploding in California and beyond, these animals cause up to $2.5 billion in damage annually across the U.S., devastating crops, ecosystems, and even suburban infrastructure. To control these species, methods like electric fencing, rifle hunting, and live trapping are widely used. They're effective, but they also raise serious ethical concerns. Bears and foxes are intelligent, ecologically vital animals. And feral pigs, while destructive, pose welfare and disease risks. If mismanaged. So, how do we move forward responsibly? The answer lies in a shift toward sustainable, science-driven strategies. Bear-proof bins and livestock guardian dogs protect property without bloodshed. Fertility control, already explored by agencies like CDFW and the USDA, offers long-term population management. Community education, promoted by the National Wildlife Federation, helps people understand animal behavior and avoid risky interactions. For feral pigs, GIS mapping, disease monitoring, and integrated pest management tools can dramatically enhance control while limiting collateral harm. Ultimately, the goal isn't just protection, it's coexistence. Balancing agricultural needs with wildlife conservation requires collaboration among farmers, scientists, wildlife officials, and communities. Only through cooperation can we ensure that our landscapes remain productive, our ecosystems stay balanced, and our actions remain both effective and humane. Because managing wildlife isn't just about control. It's about respecting life while protecting livelihoods.